Hey y'all, welcome back. My name is Crystal, and I've got a weekly reading wrap up for you. The second week of August is or what is this? The third week of August is already just gone. It's flying by, you guys. So let's talk about what I read last week. But first, I want to do a big thank you to some shout outs I got from Brad Proctor, Nikki of Dark Stream Pages, from Melissa over on Instagram. Shouted me out a little bit and bumped me over the 1,000 subscriber mark, so I appreciate that. I really have enjoyed connecting with some book folks and making book friends by starting doing these videos, and I really appreciate that. So thanks, and hello to any new subscribers. Thanks for stopping by. So I didn't know how this was going to go. I revived my channel after like 3 years of not making videos, and I added book chats to it, and I didn't know how that was going to go because most of my previous content was just talking about my stitching, and I lost some subscribers, which is fine. It's not a big deal, but I kind of expected it because I wasn't ever talking about books before. So but it's nice I get, like I said, to connect with some book folks and have them check me out and leave really lovely comments and getting to know some folks here in the bookish community. So thanks for that. Really, it's been really fun. So I think we'll see how long this sticks around as far as making book videos. I'm enjoying it. So I'm hoping that you enjoy watching. So thanks again, everyone. Appreciate it. And let's see. Let's just get right into what I read last week. I finished up 4 things last week, so let's chat about it. You ready? I finished up Queen of Teeth by Haley Piper. I've done a separate book chat video already for this, so I'll link it below in case you missed it and want to check it out. And I loved this. 5 stars. Nice body horror story with tentacles and teeth. Yeah, I loved it. And then on to something completely different. I read Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I ended up pulling this one up on audiobook. I like to go through the classics with audiobook. I think it kind of helps get through it, because sometimes the language can be a little difficult to get into, But anyway, this was on my sort of year-long TBR that I made for myself that I'm failing miserably at. So I said, why don't I just try to pick up a couple of these books and actually read them? So I put the audiobook on hold, and the hold came in, and I really enjoyed it. Did I write I didn't write the narrator down, I'm sorry, but she did a really, really good job helping me, get into the story. Now, Pride and Prejudice is a story, of course, that I know. I've watched movies and all kinds of adaptations and stuff for Pride and Prejudice, so the general story, of course, I knew, right? But it's always nice to kind of check out the sort of the original and kind of see where it all started, right? And yeah, I did end up really enjoying this one. And how much do I love the mom in this book? She trips me out. She is nuts. She just is trying her best to get her daughters married off well, and she freaks out. I love her. So yeah, I really liked this. Glad to finally read some Jane Austen too. I'm probably the last person in the world who has read Jane Austen yet. So check mark on that one, right? I enjoyed it. Yeah. Let's see. And then a couple more audiobooks. I listened to Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris. This is more of a sort of psychological, I don't want to call it a thriller, but psychological sort of suspense thrillery type story. We've got this this man and this woman that have met earlier on in the story, and sort of a whirlwind romance, and they get married, and then things aren't quite what they seem, right? This man is a bit different than he was when they were dating, right? And I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil anything, but I'll just leave it there. Things are just not quite what they seem. This book also has a character with Down syndrome, and I'm done with this personal project. For anyone that may be new, I've got this sort of just a personal project of mine to read books that have characters with Down syndrome, because I have a son with Down syndrome, and I'm just looking for some good representation. And I've had some hits and misses. This was a hit. I really liked how the character with Down syndrome was portrayed in here. She is the younger sister to the woman in the book, and first is it Molly? Is her name? For some reason I'm forgetting everyone's names in the book, of course, but she is a teenager, like an older teenager. She's finishing up like her last year of school, and the goal is to have her move in with them in their house once she gets out of school. But because things are not what they seem, the wife is trying to prevent that. Let me just say that. So, you know, like I said, I really enjoyed the way they represented this character. She's not a main character, but she's, you know, she's a pivotal part of the story. And she was portrayed in a very realistic way. She had a lot of character. She was very, you know, her dialogue was very realistic. She was very smart and funny. And yeah, I really liked how they portrayed her. So that is one for the plus column for this story. And I will add it to my books that I recommend that have good that good representation for Down syndrome that I've read so far. And yeah, I overall really enjoyed this, and I gave it 4 stars. It was good. It had me kind of, you know, on the edge of my seat, wondering what in the world is going to happen next, because it got wild. It was a little bonkers, but it was good. So if you're looking for a good, you know, psychological kind of type story, definitely recommend this one. It was good. And then I finished up the week with listening to the audiobook for If the Creek Don't Rise by Leah Weiss. Now, this is another Appalachian story. This is set in the western part of North Carolina. I'm more in central North Carolina, but I'm always looking for stuff in North Carolina in general, but particularly in the Appalachian area for whatever reason. I don't know. But this one was really good. Also, I really liked this, and this story was told pretty interestingly. Each chapter was from a perspective of a different character with very few overlaps. So like only a couple of the characters had like another chapter maybe towards the end of the story. So overall there was kind of a lot of characters, but it did not overwhelm. You know, sometimes you can just be like, there's just too much, there's too many people here, right? There's just too much going on. But this one, I didn't feel that at all, and I think, you know, I think it was just written very well, right? It was very engaging, the story, and you get each chapter, you got, you know, little bits of something from like another character that sort of tied things in, and kind of put together a greater story, if that makes sense. And we've got some really great characters. You know, we've got a young teenage girl who, I think she's like 17, and she gets pregnant and ends up getting married to this real jerk, and he ends up, you know, really physically abusing her. So there are some tough scenes of spousal abuse in here, just now. There's her grandmother who also was abused by her jerk husband. There's a preacher, local preacher man, and his sister gets the perspective, and she's like a sort of bitter woman. There's sort of the local kooky lady, you know, like you see these sort of small towns, there's like that one weird lady that everybody loves, but they're also kind of like, she's a kooky lady. There's the husband, that jerk husband. We get his perspective. We get, there's a new teacher in town who, she kind of shakes things up for some of the characters. And I really enjoy this. I don't know if it actually ever told the year, but it felt like it was probably like the 60s. That's what it felt like by things that were referenced. So this new teacher comes to town, and she's got a bit more kind of liberal type views. And so, like I said, she kind of shakes up the neighborhood a little bit. And oh gosh, there's a murder mystery. There's talk of working in the coal mine. There's, yeah, dealing with poverty. Like I said, the spousal abuse, which is, you know, prevalent. And then just in this really gorgeous mountain setting. So I really liked the story. And I really look forward to reading more by Leah Weiss now. I'm always looking for more Southern writers or people that set their books in North Carolina, you know. So definitely added her to the list. I know she has at least one other book that I found. So I have something else to dig into at some point. So yeah, I really liked this one. It was just a really good story, you know, just a good story. So I recommend that one. And let's see. That's all I finished. So I finally did make a start on Sin Lena Sins by Josiah Bancroft as part of the read-along of this series that Leslie over at the Nerdy Narrative is hosting. So I finished up part 1 last night finally, and really enjoying this so far. We've got a newlywed couple that on their honeymoon have decided to go to the Tower of Babel, check out its wonders, and on the very first day, like, the wife goes missing, and so the husband has to go search for her, and the tower isn't quite what it seems. It's kind of a wild ride so far. A lot has actually happened in this small amount of time, so I'm enjoying it. And poor Sinlin, he's just this kind of naive guy, and you kind of feel sorry for him. His eyes are getting opened, let's just say that. I hope to also start next week This Tender Land by William Krueger. I'm gonna probably pull it up on audio, but I'm looking forward to this. This is a historical fiction story that I've heard is really amazing, and I think it's gonna be really beautiful, so looking forward to that one. And I'm still making progress in the fungi anthology. I'm reading like a story a day kind of thing. Really enjoying these stories about fungus. It's been fun. Is that it? Let me show you this bookmark. Look at that bookmark I got. You can buy these from NW Reader. She has a channel here on YouTube, and she has an awesome Etsy shop where she makes stickers and bookmarks. I ordered this, I really ordered this Candyman one that she did because I needed it. Like, I needed it. And I just threw this one in the cart too, because why not? But, she just like teased like some Midsummer bookmarks. Get out of here, I'm ordering that. I think that's it. So, thanks as always for watching. I always appreciate your time. And let me know what you read this week. Anything good? Let me know. Let's chat in the comments. Thanks as always for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye-bye.